Monica says she's always had a tense relationship with her husband, Dean. She describes him as angry and full of excuses. Monica, how did Dean treat your children when you all lived together?
It was up and down, and it wasn't battling all the time. The kids would just all be in their rooms, and he would be outside. If he gets frustrated or flustered, it's like, oh, I gotta go. And so he takes off to go run errands or to go outside and to go, just to get away from me, I feel. And so his kids were older, so he had never really had to raise kids because he was in the military when his kids were little. So he didn't have the hands-on and the everyday. And so once we moved into a house together, 4 kids, and then we ended up with a baby, it was like, he was very overwhelmed, and he was like, okay, well, I'm going to PTSD counseling, but it was like just to run away and not to have to be there.
What age did you come into their lives, Dean?
Small.
Well, we got married when they were 10, but he was around since they were
like
4 and a half.
4.5.
Okay, so you've known them for a lot of their lives.
They never really opened up to me.
But he wasn't a parent then, so he didn't have anything to do with raising them, rearing them, clothing them, feeding them, providing for them. So they didn't have any. Not at that very young age, and so he didn't try to start instilling until we got married, and then he started to have this idea that, okay, well, now I'm the husband and the father here, so I get to make the decisions and the rules as to what I expect.
So when you got married when they were 4, you all didn't sit down and say...
we got married when they were 10.
He was coming around them when they were 4.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you didn't establish for them at 4-year-olds that this is your father figure.
He was just a friend at the time. He wasn't involved in we weren't involved in a relationship, so he was
So by
not
10 years old, he comes into the picture. Now he's stepdad. And how did they accept him at 10?
They did. They accepted him well, but I was always the one that was, I'm the one that's always raised them and everything, so they never had any, he was just fun at the time. Right. It wasn't until they got older that he expected more, and
when I expected more, and not really more. I was just trying to show them, you know, hey, life isn't just sleeping all day and not doing nothing, you know.
But they were not used to you being in that role.
No. And I understand.
And that was a big transition.
And it was like
all the way to the end.
He was the friend, and then all of a sudden now he wants to go and start telling them what to do. And instead of going to me to tell them what he wants done, he was putting me in a situation where he was battling with them on the side, and then they'd come to me, and he'd come to me
with them because they wouldn't talk to me.
Well,
you said they wouldn't talk to you.
They wouldn't even talk to me.
Why?
I mean,
why do you think? Was that during the time when you had your alcohol and drug problem?
Probably.
That's one of the reasons, definitely.
I mean, you have to take right.
Yes, yes. And they don't really know me in a clean aspect anymore. They really don't. They've never seen me in that.
So they lost respect for you.
I'm sure.
Because they saw you abusing drugs, and they saw
being
some of
very
the anger.
irresponsible. How can this man tell me to do something, and here he's drunk?